I know it's been absolutely devastating just seeing some of that aftermath.
Morgan, for people who are just now tuning in, you had mentioned that organizers are going to be making that decision at 5:30. I know that there's a lot of questions about this train derailment.
Yeah, Frank, you took the words right from me. I was just going to say, you know, as that sunrise is happening, we're able to see more of not only the damage, but also the debris. So when people are waking up this morning,
the goal is for an intruder to never make it through student walls, which is why Kings High School has this safety film, so it makes it difficult. Most people think of a bus merely as a means of transportation.
Now this right here behind me, this is drone video from that outbreak. Expect some delays and even some closures. Honestly, I'd say pack your patience because a lot of construction is happening and it's already underway.
I've already got the glasses, Frank. Come on, I'm a true fan. I've got the glasses.
Are they Cartier? Are they the real thing, the Cartier?
No, but we won't tell anyone. It's fine. It's okay.
Now this video that I'm showing you right now, this is not the chemical leak. Do not get it confused. This is the East Palestine train derailment that took place last year, also in Ohio. But you're probably like, Payton, why are you bringing this up right now? A federal judge.
Taylor, this really is an absolutely heartbreaking scene. You could actually see the heavy response from fire crews here.
Sharonville police even shut down some of the roads there just because of the dangerous levels of that flooding.
This is the chemical leak that happened yesterday here in Whitewater Township, which is the reason for these evacuations.
You needed extra deodorant this weekend.
Maybe another shirt?
Yes.
Crews were actually able to rescue the truck driver. Weather is back. As Catherine and I were talking, not as friendly as we think. And developing now, a man is dead after a motorcycle crash in Florence, Kentucky.
But I want you guys to actually take a walk with me because all day today we've been talking about these trees, right? These trees have been down. They've been down on houses, on fences. We have had to park the car just halfway on this ramp because it could not make it up any farther.
I know that there's a lot of questions about what is that looking like? Is it safe? Where are things right now? They couldn't give an exact answer, but here's the answer that they did give me. We're talking about the air quality. What are those numbers looking like? Is it super high?
I don't know what those numbers are.
Shutting down a reproductive system. I mean, that's not casual.
That's a very good question.
And here's new video this morning of Donald Trump landing safely.
What is the FBI's goal with creating this?
And if we can just save one officer's life.
You can see there's multiple layers of security to get into the new evidence room. In fact, this is going to be the only time where I'll be able to show you this exclusive look.
When it comes to the $600 million class action settlement, 55,000 claims were filed.
B, get them up, get them up.
I, get 'em up, get 'em up. D, get 'em up, get 'em up.
I want to know how they found him, and I want to know why it took so long.
Limited information was provided on the arrest of 50-year-old Richard Allen, who was charged with 2 counts of murder for the death of Libby German and Abigail Williams.
If there was any case for the death penalty, it's this one, what he did to those girls.
Something that haunts the victims' family and friends like Rick Snee. Faded letters are what's left of a memorial that's endured 5.5 years without justice for the victims' families.
It's been a living hell.
Libby German and Abigail Williams disappeared on February 13, 2017. Their bodies were recovered the next day, and the case drew national attention, especially after this photo was found from Libby German's phone, showing this man and this clip of a man's voice. Carroll County prosecutor Nick McClellan says information will not be discussed surrounding the evidence in this case or the charge. What we know is Allen pleaded not guilty, and his pretrial hearing is scheduled for January of 2023 with the trial date set for March. Talk to me about just the shock that this man was in the community.
You can feel it. It's palpable.
Indiana State Police Officer Doug Carter says the investigation is far from over.
Today is not a day to celebrate.
And the time will come when additional details can be released. As for the victim's family, the news of the arrest is bittersweet.
While it allows us to move to the next turn or the next chapter, we still got a big mountain ahead of us.
So the door looks shut, but it's not.
Sheriff McGuffey says inmates have been compromising the cell locks.
Oh my gosh, it's very dangerous for the officers.
Sheriff McGuffey says inmates have been able to attack officers who thought the cell doors were working.
They can also pop out of the cell and assault other inmates, and they have.
Sheriff McGuffey says they are examining all locks that need to be replaced, but that's not the only change the jail is seeing. The Hamilton County Justice Center has also transitioned to electronic mail. Some mail being sent to the jail was compromised with fentanyl, meth, even sprayed with wasp spray. The sheriff says inmates were lighting it to get high. Now, inmates have to read that mail on a kiosk. Legal mail from an inmate's attorney cannot be scanned into the electronic system, so the jail is now using a machine to make sure no drugs are on that mail.
In order to protect the officer that's delivering the mail and not inhaling any kind of substance that's in this case, there's a filter in here that would trap that.
Once the machine detects the mail is not compromised, a copy is made in front of the inmate and given to them, and the original is shredded. Less paper in the jail is something McGuffey says will keep inmates from stuffing locks and burning windows. On July 22nd, the sheriff says an inmate vandalized this cell window after compromising the lock.
They got inside this pipe chase, got the plate off of the electrical connection, and then they took a little wire that they got out of, we have a pump spray, and I'll show it to you. The pump sprays we used to sell down in commissary, and they took that wire, arced it, attached it to that electric source, and it arced, and then they were able to light what we call a wick.
Here is surveillance footage from the sheriff's office of a previous wick an inmate created.
It's a long, feet long toilet paper rolled up very, very, very tightly in like a little rope. Okay, if you light the end of that, it will stay lit and burn very slowly for days. People that are incarcerated, some of those really bad guys, will take any opportunity to do anything in the environment that you can imagine.
Whether that's to escape, assault other inmates, or smuggle in drugs, Sheriff McGuffey says staff will continue to adjust, just like they are doing with the TVs in the jail.
They started out like here, and then they went to there, and now they're there.
They are now just under the ceiling.
And if they can get to any of that connection to the TV, they can make it arc, an electrical arc, which will light something.
Sheriff McGuffey says the jail is required by state law to have things like sunlight and recreation. So the deputies must find new ways to ensure they follow the law and that the inmates are safe. But inmates continue to find ways around the changes.
They were breaking that stool off, that whole metal stool, and then they were able to take it and break the windows out with that. So that was a few years ago. We fixed that by taking all those stools off. Every day, every officer that walks into this jail, their primary concern and focus is the security of this jail and what we can do to keep it from being compromised.